Transport operators in the country say they will not reduce fares after President Akufo-Addo lifted restrictions in the transport sector. They say COVID-19 social distancing protocols and other factors did force a 15% increment some days ago, but the prices will remain the same even after the president directed them to now operate at full capacity. That is according to Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, Ibrahim Abbas Moro. Maxwell Agbagba was at the Circle Lorry Station and reports that whereas the drivers are excited and have already started operating at full capacity, passengers are not happy about the directive.
We are here at the Circle Terminal to gauge the mood and find out what it is like, here. As you can see, the place is already buzzing with activity this morning. But before we get to the terminal, though, let's speak to some persons who are buying, some water here this morning. Let me speak to, sir, you're welcome to JoyNews.
Thank you.
Yeah.
For me, since we'll be wearing the nose masks, I don't think I have a problem. Okay. Because if you are able to follow the precautionary measures, I think it will help all of us to be safe.
Truck drivers can't go back to picking to full capacity.
Oh, we are very happy.
Okay. You are very happy?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you reduce your transport fares? Because many of you increased it because of that.
But the fuel is not reduced. So it should reduce the fuel so that we can also reduce the fare.
You can see what's happening in this vehicle right now. It is at full capacity. Previously, you would only find 2 people in this truck, but now it's back to normal with 3 people, on the seats. All of them wearing masks. Just in one person at the front seat not wearing the mask. So the trucks here at Circle have started operating at full capacity.
It's a welcome address.
Okay.
The president have done well because no matter what, we can't go backwards. We have to bounce back. The nation have to bounce back. Yeah, so it's a good initiative. Okay. We welcome it. When the fare was increased because of the reduction of the passengers, it also created the fare to rise.
They were supposed to reduce the dollar fare because it will bring confusion. Government to do something to favor the drivers and made too.
Well, we are now in the central business district. There's a lot of activity going on here, but we are right in front of the offices of the GPRTU, the Greater Accra GPRTU. And we have with us the Public Relations Officer. But what we are certain about is the 15% increment. You say that you're not going to reduce the fare.
Yes, no, that one there's no way. It is good we speak the truth, we tell you the truth to cry, than to tell you lies for you to laugh. There's no way we are going to decrease anything from it, because we are even looking for more than what we are implementing now.
You are not loading, you are not operating at full capacity. Now the president has lifted that restriction and you're operating at full capacity. What do you make of arguments that it means you should drop that 15% increments, the 15% increase in lorry fares? What do you make of arguments like that?
No, I said earlier on that by then, we're not in normal times when the economy, things have changed. We are even expecting to come up with upward adjustment in lorry fares, which is long overdue.
Long overdue, he says. Meanwhile, the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, COPEC, is calling on commercial transport operators to reduce their fares immediately as they return to taking passengers at full seating capacity. I have the Executive Director for COPEC, Duncan Amwa, who's joining me on Zoom. Ms. Amwa, it's been a while. Hi, good afternoon.
Let me say good afternoon to you, good afternoon to your viewer, and forgive my beard. I've not been able to get to the barbering shop in a long time, so
don't worry. You can use the way it looks like. You can use a scissors to do that. But let's look at let's look at what the drivers are doing to us. Essentially, they're they're eating their cake and having it, or having their cake and eating it at the same time. You're calling for them to reduce their fares. They have said already that it will not change. What else can COPEC do to get them to do what everybody believes should be done?
Gifty, the point and the good news is that eventually they will.
Okay. How?
And we do not think that we made those calls in vacuum. And right-thinking members of society are quite, in tune with this. Most Ghanaians expect the right things to be done. Once the government has come up to lift the restrictions or the social distancing restriction, what it means is that revenues that they were forfeiting before the president's directives yesterday, now they are going to have all those revenues come to them. So like you said, they want to eat their cake and still have it. Gifty, I have heard a section of drivers suggest that government should reduce fuel taxes or fuel prices before they can reduce transport fares. Let me reiterate that pre-COVID fuel prices and post-COVID fuel prices, if you add the two, Ghanaians are, as of today, enjoying a minimum 50 pesos variance or difference with what we used to pay before COVID and what we are paying today. So the fuel price discussion or discourse would not apply at this time, because if it were to be anything, the drivers are saving on fuel at this time than even before COVID came and social distancing rules were applied. Now, what they look out for is the fact that because fuel dropped to about 4 cedis or 3 cedi 80 and it's now gone to about 4 cedi 80, it means they are paying more. They are not paying more. In actual fact, a lot of us in Ghana currently are saving on fuel if you look at the levels we were paying for and the levels we are paying now. They also cite spare parts. The cedi dollar, relationship, it fluctuates, goes up, comes down. So it will be difficult for one to say that spare parts has also gone up when there's not been any new introduction of taxes on importations. And so that argument would fall any day. Fuel prices, spare parts will fall. The key thing that made them increase transport fares for all of us was social distancing and the fact that for taxis that were picked 4 people, they were now picking 3 people. That is some 25% revenue forfeited to them. And so we agreed with them when they needed to increase the fares. But at this point, based on the president's directive, it is only fair and proper that if they are going to go back and pick the 4 passengers to get, the full revenue stream, you do not overburden the commuter any further by charging extra because of COVID. COVID has given them positives like lower fuel prices as we speak. Spare parts have not indeed gone up as they would want Ghanaians to believe. And for nothing at all, they will make savings on fuel prices, which they used to pay 5.3, 5.6 for, but now selling or trading at 4.8 per liter. And so if for nothing at all, they should have even reduced their previous transport fare prices and not the additions that they are refusing to withdraw. I can put on record that any way and mean that COPEC will go to achieve these reductions would ensure that the right things are done for and by Ghanaians, by these our cherished public transport operators, because it is simply the right thing to do. The last other critical factor, if they do not reduce the fares at this point, you hear a lot of them allude to fuel prices. If the government reduce fuel prices, it will reduce transport fares. As it stands today, 4.8 is what we are paying at the pumps. Let fuel prices go up to about 5.5. The same drivers will come back to us to say, we need to increase transport fares because fuel prices have gone up. Now, at what levels are you increasing from? We should be increasing from the decreasing rate or the 15% less that we are currently asking them to take off. And so, Gifty, we are not going to sit and allow this, like you indicated, they should eat their cake and have it. So when the time comes for them to increase transport fares, they do. So the time and the window comes for reductions, they should also give that to Ghanaians.
I just want to find out if you are considering any options, and what are they?
Gifty, I can assure you that our lawyers are on standby. This will be a very interesting case for the Ghanaian courts because clearly we cannot allow the public to continuously be cheated with the excuse that, oh, if you get them here, then they use spare parts. If you get them on spare parts, then they use fuel prices. If you get them on fuel prices, then the argument is that, oh, we've made losses in the past. Gifty, we put on record that no business can ask for retrospective profits. So if you forfeited your monies yesterday, you cannot come today and insist that monies that you should have made yesterday, which you didn't make, we should allow you to charge us today.
Okay.
That clearly doesn't stand the test of any business case. So we'll take them to court by close of business today, tomorrow. We do not get any indication that they intend to be fair and equitable to Ghanaians. I can assure you that the transport fares will be reduced, and it must be reduced immediately.
I'm looking forward to that, and I'm sure that a lot more people are also doing the same. Mr. Duncan Amwa, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Duncan Amwa is Executive Director of the COPEC, as a Chamber of Petroleum Consumers. He says they're going to sue the drivers. We'll see how that goes.